Alright, welcome back to another episode of the Burger Report. Your number one choice for news, politics, and ladies' undergarments. I, of course, am your personal trainer and host, Dave Steppenwolf. A lot of big news. In my last video, I covered some big Trump news, rather. Trump train still rolling. Another possible big victory win, maybe. But that's why I actually took the day off yesterday. Yesterday was the safe harbor deadline, and I just wanted to let the news kind of simmer because these news articles are coming way too fast. Every time a big win comes, a big loss comes right behind it. For instance, in my last video, talked about Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, Judge Alito, taking up or showing interest in the Pennsylvania lawsuit by the GOP. He set the deadline. They were supposed to respond. They responded, and he threw the case out. I was very hopeful with that one. They were trying to rule mail-in ballots unconstitutional for the most part. Act 77, blah, blah, blah. You know the story, I'm sure. If you don't, cover it in my last video. But I'm actually going to cover it in this video as well because the new, bigger story is along the same lines. But apparently Judge Alito threw it out because they were missing some kind of, I don't know, protocol was wrong with the case. They're supposed to start at one level, work your way up to the Supreme Court, and apparently they missed like a lower circuit judge court filing, so he was like, no, I'm not going to see this. So that sucked. Before I get into the next one, like and subscribe, follow me on Twitch, pretty fun. But anyways, yesterday, safe harbor deadline, the big bomb dropped. For those of you who don't know, Texas took up to filing suit against 4 swing states: Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. Nothing to do with fraud. You hear me, YouTube? No fraud we're talking about. YouTube just made a freaking announcement that they're gonna any discussion of election fraud, the channel's gonna be taken down in videos. Fuck. Thank you, Nazi Germany. And China. Anyways, they're suing purely for the constitutionality of the mail-in voting. Apparently these states violated their own mail-in voting electoral laws by going through the courts instead of the legislature, and Texas just wants some fairness. Now, later in the day, yesterday and today, the news got even bigger. I tell you, the quickening is upon us. The quickening is this acceleration of events, awakening, consciousness, and craziness. It's just coming at you faster and faster. So we could be hitting tomorrow and more bad news, so who knows. But as it turns out, yesterday, like 7 more states announced their support of the suit. Oh my goodness, I think I got a sneeze. Excuse me. Almost came out. And today I believe the number's up to 17 or 18. Pretty intense. That's like a third of the country is suing, or wants part in this lawsuit rather, with the Supreme Court. Let me backtrack. Nothing's been filed, or Texas filed the case, and it's been docketed by the Supreme Court, meaning they'll see it, and they've made some statement to where these 4 states in question need to make a response by tomorrow, December 10th. But they can still throw it out, just like in Pennsylvania. So I'm hopeful, but I'm trying to be realistic. This might be Trump's last chance before he declares martial law, so I don't know. In any case, it's exciting. And then Trump goes to open his mouth, and it's like he wants to jump on the case. I'm just like, bro, Trump, I like you, man. Just let this work itself out. It's going to be in your favor. Because if this does go, and if these ballots are ruled unconstitutional, or the processes that the states followed are ruled unconstitutional, then, there's going to be no votes for those 4 states. It's like 62, 63 electoral votes. Biden doesn't get to 70, and Trump presumably wins through, was it a contingent election, where each state has 1 vote, more Republican states than Democrat. So that's pretty. That might be the biggest election story that we've come across, and there's no coverage of it. I don't see it in any of the mainstream headlines. I mean, look, we're gonna look together. Where we at? Let's do some, this there. Nope, not that one. That one. Okay. Alright, we're looking at CNN. I was actually just pulling up some headlines before we got going here. Vaccine, advisory, federal criminal investigation of Hunter Biden, SpaceX rocket, pretty crazy. Melania Trump, blah, 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 opinion. Trump asked Ted Cruz to argue Texas election lawsuit if it reaches the Supreme Court. Okay, let's see what that is. It should have been a bold top headline. Further Trump, blah, blah, blah. Supreme Court takes it up to sources. Trump recorded on Tuesday with regard to the... Okay, this is more about Ted Cruz. Oh, no, shut up. See, it's just talking about Ted Cruz. No links are talking about the case. And it also brings up the GOP being denied by Judge Alito in the Pennsylvania case, but nothing about the Texas case. Interesting. Let's go back. There's another, I think I see another headline here. There we go. Trump asked Supreme Court to invalidate millions of votes in battleground states. President Trump asked Supreme Court, blah, blah, blah. Don't play nothing. Oh, crap and a half. See, this is all a bit rough. I gotta get more organized here. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is seeking to validate millions of votes cast in Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. President being represented by new Attorney John Eastman is known for recently pushing racist conspiracy theory. Question whether or not Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, blah, blah, blah. Of course, we gotta throw that in there. This comes after a day in Pennsylvania. See, but this isn't... This is a little misleading. This is not talking about... This isn't Trump's case. There's a high level of distrust between opposing sides, compounded by the fact that the election we just held, election officials in key swing states for apparently partisan advantage failed to conduct their state elections in compliance with state election law. That's what the case is about. Trump says the battleground states use the pandemic as an excuse to ignore a suspended operation, numerous state laws designed to protect the integrity of the ballot. Okay, so actually this one's actually covering a lot of it. Okay. Well, I'll put my foot in my mouth there. Anyways, let's go to the next one. NPR. Wow, this is turning in... This is all done in real time, no script. I had some ideas and holy shit. See, Michigan's headlines that GOP... Oh, yeah, that freaking... what's her name? Cynthia Johnson? She had quite the threatening Facebook... Not Facebook. YouTube responsive. She has some threatening emails. God dang, I can't even get it right. She has some threatening voicemails. And she had this weird response of soldiers taking out Trump supporters or... I don't believe anything these days. So, I mean, I smell a freaking Jesse Smollett when it comes to that lady. She's fake as a $3 bill. It's just watching her during the Michigan hearings with Mr. Giuliani. What are you going to do? House approved temporary government funding, blah, blah, blah. Trump asked the Supreme Court to let him join widely scorned Texas election lawsuit. Oh, my goodness. But it's like halfway down the page. Election experts scoffed this week when Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton announced that he would be filing a lawsuit in the Supreme Court against 4 key states in an attempt to block presidential electors or finalize Joe Biden's election victory. But now President Trump has 17 states he carried joining the effort. Oh, my goodness. Official states... This had nothing more than unfounded publicity stunt. Which it could be. Could be a publicity stunt. Could be the GOP like, well, we got to do something to, calm the Trump supporters. Very well possible. Trump's people not signed back to Solicitor General, blah, blah, blah. Trump Chapman. Texas brief not signed by Solicitor. Cal Paxton signed Texas brief. Indictment, all briefs filed so far, motion seeking information. Okay, this is turned into a lot of nothing. But at least this is talking about the constitutionality. See, I was reading articles yesterday, they were talking about voter fraud allegations and disproving fraud. It has nothing to do with fraud. This is totally about the constitution of the state legislators being overturned or bypassed, going through the court systems, and Texas is like, man, you know, this can't be right. This is not how we do things. You're disenfranchising our own voters, and it's bad either way. Because what are you going to do? You're going to throw out those 4 states. Biden doesn't win, and you got all these millions of... It's just pure division. We're talking Civil War level in either case. Because the Trump supporters seem to be getting really riled up here. I'm seeing a lot of emotional videos that they're on their last leg. And I wasn't quite expecting that, I'm not going to lie. For the most part, if Biden won, I thought he was just going to be kind of, you know, we're going to have some serious protest, some serious, you know, the next primary is going to be some serious ousting of all the establishment freaking members left and right. Because he had a lot of gains in the House. He had, 10, 11, 12 seats that were lost to Democrats. So, I mean, I thought that was going to be, but this is getting to a potentially hazardous future here. So, honestly, there's been talk of martial law, and I think that might be for the best. I know it sounds crazy, but you talking... Lincoln did it for pretty much the same thing. You had the Civil War unrest and all that potential, all that boiling up, and I think that should happen, honestly. If Trump stays in power and declares martial law, just to keep things almost under control, keep people from killing each other, because I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm just not seeing any major headlines in regards to this lawsuit, and it seems to be the only valid one. And the Supreme Court could likely hear it, because this is apparently when states sue other states, it goes straight to the Supreme Court. So you're not bypassing any other circuits, lower circuits of court and judges, and this might be, I mean, I don't know, the merits themselves seem to be sound. I don't know. That just could be a publicity stunt. Could be a whole lot of nothing. And we could have some other bombshell tomorrow or next week or Friday, this weekend. Who knows? In other news, as I was saying before, Facebook censored all commentary on election fraud. So hopefully my channel doesn't get taken down. This might be my last video. I wasn't talking about election fraud. Facebook and YouTube. I said Facebook and I meant YouTube. They're across the board censoring all that, so that's pretty draconian. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever. We'll get through this. I'll see you tomorrow, and have another video for you, and it's going to be great. Great tour.